Okay. So today we take two classes parallel and after first start with let me give you the context of the class.
Hello.
Hello, am I audible?
Yes, yes.
Yeah. Wait, let me share my screen. Um, yeah. So so this is the class two and three. Okay. Mostly class. So in the last video we mostly talk about the basics of it. Okay, what are the difference and what is the flow? Wait, how the class, how this complete 6 months course will be divided in two parts and how it is going. Okay, and yeah, these are things. Now we have this one. So mostly this first class is on the requirement side. What is required to become applied AI engineer or anything, an applied AI part. In the last class, we mostly talk about key AI models. Okay. And it can be any type, image, video, text. Okay. Now, you need to where you can use these AI models. Okay, that is the one requirement. What is the important part? For example, the all the things is written in Python or the AI model which made itself. For example, if any AI model is trained or something like that, it is using a Python code or some different coding languages. Okay. So one thing is the Python is required. Okay. Required. The basics of it. Yeah. So second is API calls. API call. APIs. Okay, these two things are important. So first we understand what is Python and how you can move forward with that and what we can how we should where should we use the Python to write our code and all this stuff. So this is the text generation wala part. Okay, so the class one is mostly the text generation or the other. Uh, yeah, let's take text generation wala part. So this is the Saturday class itself. So yeah. So first of all, what is Python? So Python is a coding language where you can write a code and it will give some outputs to you. Okay. Or if you want to communicate with your machine, you need to write a code. So there is a language. So that is Python is just one of the language of out of maybe 20 and more than that. Okay. To communicate with your machine. Okay. Or if you want any output from your machine, so you can use Python for it. For example, if I open this browser, this is also a code written in the backend. Key, if someone click on this plus icon, it will open a new thing, new tab. So this is also one code. Similarly, Python is the one language where we can write a code and get the output according to us. Okay. And why it is required? Because a lot of AI models is the training code is written in Python. So, or machine learning, DL, AI part, the ecosystem of AI, it's running most major coding language is Python itself. Okay, if you see this is the AI block. So a lot of code is written in Python. Community support is too good and it is easy to learn. Okay, so yeah. So for example, this is the AI complete block, and Python is the major role of here is Python itself, the language, because a lot of libraries, community support is there. So I created one PDF for this particular part. So let's go to let me close this one. Okay, so let me increase the size of it. Okay. So why we are learning Python? Because this we are writing a single line of code. Let us answer the most of important. Why Python? Not because some told us. Every major AI model in the world, GPT 5.2, Claude 3, Stable Diffusion, image model also built in Python itself. Okay, every AI company use Python. If you build with AI, not just use it, Python is the only language that matters right now. Okay, it is easy readable. A lot of Python AI libraries in Python first, just like TensorFlow, PyTorch, LangChain, OpenAI, SDK, Hugging Face, all Python. Massive community support used beyond AI, web app, Instagram, YouTube, data science, automation, finance, scientific research. There are a lot of things is done in Python itself. Fastest part to result if the code in 200 lines in Java or C++, the same code you can write in Python in 20 lines. Okay, these are the different languages and AI support learning curve. This is the table. So let's go later on the API part. And now where we can use the this particular Python, where you can write a Python code. There are the two methods. Okay, let me show you this. So first thing is the Google Colab. You can use this particular part for the class or anything else. So yeah. So for example, this is the Google Colab. You can write your code here. Uh, but first of all, you need to download Python. If you select on internet and just click on Python, you can download from here. Just download this particular version. It is the most stable one. So it is showing latest version of Mac OS. Same thing for Windows. You can download that. Okay, 64-bit or 32-bit according to your system. Okay. Once you download the Python, or if you don't want to download the Python, that is okay because Colab is provided by the Google and it is completely free. So you can use directly via Colab. You don't need to install anything in your computer because it is running on your browser side. Okay. If you want to install in your local computer, then only you need to download that particular part. Hmm. So yeah. So before moving ahead, so this is the first code. If you want to print anything in Python, you need to write print hello QuantaSkool, just similar to that. First, we need to connect over there. If you search Google Colab, you can get this one also. Or I will share this so you can also run parallelly with me. Wait, give me 1 second. Did you guys get the link? So I shared one link in the on your WhatsApp,
Yeah, I got that.
or maybe I can share in the chat. Got it. Yeah, the chat itself. So yeah, you can open that particular link, and you can also start parallelly. Yeah.
I think this one I still to request access.
Okay, wait. Give me one second. Now you can open the new another link.
Yes, not the.
Okay. Now the first code is we write if you want to print anything. So you write a print and column underscore. Then you need to just in the inverted commas you write this particular text. It will print that particular text for you. Okay. If you write any other thing also, it will print that also. If you want to change only hello, you can print. So this is for if you want to print anything in Python. You can do maths also with the print function. 2 plus 2, it will print 450 for the next 10 multiply by 5. And this is the measure of the print function. How the print function is work. If you write print and do all this stuff, for example, if you want to do print 40 minus 60. So let's take this one and run it. So it gives me the minus 20. So Python can do maths. Secondly, if you want to save the variables, for example, if you want to save your name to the data label, variable is the label you can attach a piece of data in the perspective. For example, the name is QuantaSkool, student is 42, students is 42, the count, whole number. This is the text string part. Price, it is the decimal, so it will become a float. Is live equals to true means the boolean. So these are the data types. Okay. So which Python handles. So text, if there is a text data, you need to go into the inverted commas. So it will take as a string. If you go into the whole number 40 integer whole number just like 42 without any decimal point. So for example, let me go to this one, or let's start with this. Okay. So whole number, it is an integer. If there is a decimal, it becomes float. Is live equals to true means true or false. It is a boolean. If there is a true or false, it is a different data type, boolean data type. If you check type, so there is a function type over there. Name is the variable. Print type name. So it should be like this. The class will be string. It is saying integer, it is saying float, it is saying boolean. For example, I change this 42.5. Okay. If I print this one and again print, it become float where it is the integer previously. Now we change it to decimal. Now it become this particular part. So the float part. So Python is running in the line by line format. If you run this particular cell, then you need to run this particular cell. The flow should be like this every time. So it runs line by line. So if there is a first line, then it is a second line of code. So it execute first line first, and then it executes second line. So the flow, it always like that. Okay. For example, if I write, I change it. Okay. I changed student equals to 42. The whole number should be integer. Okay. But if I don't run this particular part, okay, did I run? Okay, I run this. Okay, let me change it here 40.5. Okay. If I don't run this particular cell and run this one, it is still integer because first we need to run this particular cell to save this input, then we can particular this cell. Now it becomes float. Similarly here, if I copy paste this uh, code offline over here, so it will give me float. If I give this 42, it become, so it runs line by line. First it save this QuantaSkool name equals to QuantaSkool into the RAM, which is your computer RAM. Okay, studies 42, it also save over there, but we are using a Google Colab, so they are giving the RAM and all the things over here, system RAM and disk. Okay, so they provide, it is completely free. So this is the thing. Then the type is the function where you need to see the type of that particular data. So we learned a string. Okay, we have integer as a type, float as a type, and we have boolean. Okay, so these are the data types. Then F string, the most important feature of AI. What F strings means. So if the student name is Rahul, course is Applied AI Foundation. If I need to put F before the quote, use variable inside. Okay. So what that means is if you write F and inside the before quotes, welcome to the course, then we can write this particular message like this. Okay. What that means is if message equals to this complete block of code and print message, then it will see welcome to course is targeting this particular variable, which is applied AI foundation, which is here, and student name targeting this particular variable in Rahul. Okay. For example, if I want to write without just like message to, we save it. And now, if I don't want to write a F string over there, now it become plain text. Okay. If I run this particular part also, print message to and this. Now it only give me that particular boxes, the curly braces inside quotes. Now it complete become a string. Okay, that's why it's showing me like that. If I use if I use F string, it will make that in this inverted the curly braces part taking as a variable then. Okay, why F string matters to AI? Output explain neural network in the simple Hindi. This is how you will build a AI prompts. So in the later stages where you see the AI prompts, how we can write a AI prompt, then uh, a lot of use cases of this F string is required. Okay. In this particular, just like we use different variable from different files, and then you we used in the prompt writing. Okay. Now the collection of data. So this is the another data type. Okay, let me save this. Yeah, so right now we see the four data types: string, integer, float, boolean means true, false. Another data type is list. Okay, now what list is? If you save similar thing in this particular format. Okay, one is this one GPT 5.2. In list, we can store a lot of data, different data types you can store. Okay, AI model is equals to list. if I need to check the type of AI model, let me, okay. So let me take this particular part and okay and print type of AI model. Now the class is list. So it this particular data type is list. So what list means, it can include a lot of data points, just like a lot 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 10. So if you want to see different, just like here is the four AI models we save in this list. Okay. And the second one, now if I want to get this particular data, GPT 5.2. So this is the index in Python. It starts with zero. For example, let me give you one easy example. So there is 2, 3, 4, 5, and then that. Now this is the one list over here. L equals to this one. Now if I want to access a one, so it is the index is zero. Okay, it start with zero, then it is one. This we call indexing. If I want to access three in this particular list, I need to mention it. I will tag this two, something like that. Yeah. So it's like 0, 1, 2, 3. Okay. Now, if we go on the this one, so here you see print AI model bracket zero. That zero is the index, first item of the list. So if AI model brackets -1, it shows the last item, -1. It starts from -1, -2, -3, -4. And len, there is a len function. Len is the total count, how many items in that particular list. So here is the four items, so it will show me the four output. And AI dot append. Mistral, if I want to add a new data in this particular list, we use append, then it will add that particular item in that particular list. So for example, AI model dot append print AI model. This is the method. Okay. And these are the functions. So for example, if you see there are two things in the Python. One we called it functions. Second we called methods. Okay. So in list, if I want to append, there is a method. Append is the method. Append is a method. If I want to count the number of items in this particular list, then we use a function len. Okay, which we use, yeah, len. Okay, so it will give me the length of that particular list. Yeah. So these are the basic things. So if you want to count the total count, you can use length. If you want to add something into the list, you can use append. Second critical data type is dictionary. Dictionaries we represent in that particular format. Okay, and next one is dict. Okay, so dictionary we represent the dictionary in that particular format. Student equals to, yeah. Let me show you. Yeah, student equals to is this is the key and this is the value. The Priya Sharma. City is the key. This is the value. It should be in the key value format always. Okay. If I want to see the data type of this is the string, and this is also a string itself. Enrollment is true, it is a boolean. Okay, if you want to access anything, for example, you want to know the name of the student. So how you can print student bracket inverted commas name. It will, this is the key and this is the value. It will give me the value part. Okay, so let me run this one. Priya Sharma. The second student and city, if I want to know the city, it will give me the city. Okay. Now, if you I want to add a new key in that, okay, the student batch equals to cohort 2. Okay. So it will add in the add. So that is the function. Mostly student batch. This is the property of this. Okay, student batch. This is the key, and these are the value. You can add like this. So student here is the dictionary. These are the keys. These are the values. And we print the student, it will add it. And if you want to print something in the student batch, so you will print that also. It takes some time. Yeah, yeah, it's cohort 2. Okay, now these are the data types, major data types which we use in the AI for writing a code or something. But a lot of things you don't need to write. We use the vibe coding for that or the context engineering for all the things. Okay, but these are the basics. If you know, you will able to handle the errors if you see any errors in the while writing your code and all the things. Okay. Yeah. Now, there is a if else condition because a lot of things in the coding part, if this happen, then do this. If that is not happen, do this. Else do this. For example, here, if the temperature we write as zero point 0.7, if temperature is greater than zero point 0.9, print very creative output. If temperature is greater than zero point 0.5, then balance output. If temperature else इसके अलावा कुछ भी होता है just print very precise output. So let me do. It gives me the balance output. Now, here it in the first condition, the flow should be like this. If it falls inside this condition, it will print this. If it falls inside this condition, it will print. That's why I know it is zero point 0.7 is greater than zero point 0.5. That is okay. But if else anything less than this, for example, let me change to zero point 0.4, very precise output. So this is the way we can use if else condition. Second thing, we use for loops. If you want a repeated actions, okay, this is for the making decision. This is for the repeating actions. So for example, there is a list. If I want to print all the model of the list, so if there is two way, okay, print model 0. Okay, this is also you can print. Wait, yeah. So Gemini will suggest the code automatically. So if we run this one, now in the both the things, we are printing this one. We write a 3 lines of code. Now with the for loop, I need to write a 2 lines of code and it will print all the things. For loop means for model in models. What that means? Or for, if I, this is the variable for I in models, means it iterates all the things and the I become GPT 5.1 on the first time. Again it runs it I become Gemini 3. Again it runs the I become Claude. That's why it printing I. If we print again, it will show me same result. Okay. For example, if I don't write anything model or something like that, it will give me the error. Name model is not defined because it is not defined. here. We need to model. Yeah, then it will fix it. So yeah, I will show the error type also. Okay, wait, let me model, because model is, that is fine. Okay, it is saved in the RAM. I need to clear it up. Print type. Models. Okay, it's already saved in this particular kernel, so I need to clear the runtime for that. Restarting the session, it means it start the complete session again. Okay, that's why it's not showing me the error. I need to show the error type. Okay, we will see in the later stages, the last time. Oh, after that. Yeah, so loop, for example, yeah, for I in range 1 to 6. What that means is go I is become 1 on the first time, then it will print I equals to 1. So it will print. I becomes 2 and it will print. I become 3, it will print. Then 4 and 5. It will print like this. It is a loop like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. If you want to do a repetitive action, you need to use for loop for that. Okay. Then next part is functions, which we call is reusable code block. For example, you write one code and one file, and in the in the starting of the file, and then again you want to use that particular code itself. So at least you can make a function of it, so we can use that particular file or that particular function in later stages also. So you don't need to write a complete code again and again. So if you have a reusable block of code, you can write a function. Okay, just like how we write a function. First, we need to initialize that def create prompt. So this is the function name. These are the parameters if anybody wants to call that particular function. So these are the parameters he need to pass it. Then this is the language, English, and these are if you don't want to give the default values. So if there is a default value, you can place it. If you don't want, you can ask to the user itself. User will give. For example, this. Let me run this. Yeah. Now it returns. This is the return function. The return part. F string. Explain this topic in a simple language. Now we write a create prompts. Neural networks. This is the topic name. Create prompts transformer Hindi. Then we give the language, create prompts API English. In first one, if we print this create prompt, we call the function, this particular function, and these are the neural network. This is the topic. Okay, we are not passing the language here. So it will automatically take English because we give default language is English. If we are not giving this particular part, then it will give me the error. Okay. If I don't give this particular part, it will give me the error type error. Create function, create prompt missing one positional argument, which is language. So I need to pass this thing here. Okay, this is the type error. Now it give me the English. Or if I have a default language, then I will give English. Then I don't need to pass it over here. Okay, it will take like this. So these are the basics of Python. So first we understand about the data, the what is Python, why we should learn the Python. Then there is a print function, there is a type function, the variables. These are the data types or the variables. Variables means if you want to put any assign any values to any variable, just like name we assign to Quanta labs. Now, if in next say cell, if we okay, let me print over here. Print name. Now it show me the QuantaSkool. Now this particular variable is saved with this name. this variable, that particular that QuantaSkool is saved in this particular variable now. Okay. Yeah. So these are the things. Then we go with the check what types each variable is. Then f string, we learn about f string. Then we list and data types and collection. So we learn about data types. These are the major data types you need to know in Python. So it will be easy for you. Okay. So these are the basics of it. This is only required for AI. Okay. If you know these things, this is the only thing it is required in AI part, the functions and all. So loops, if else statements, dictionary, lists, f string, and variables and Python. Okay. And Python is most important thing. If you learn the Python and you will go in the later stages, it will be easy for you to understand, okay, this is the logic behind any image generation, video generation model and all. Okay. So there are two websites which I give big binary. Bine. Yeah. You can go on big binary, maybe on the courses. Just click on Python and start learning over there. So for this particular course, you only need to complete this 15th chapter, functions part. So they will teach you also. There is a little basic exercises also, so you can complete that. So if you want, you can go later stages also. If you have any doubts, you can ask me. But yeah, the functions till function, that is important part. Yeah, this one. So it will give you the better understanding of Python, how you can write code and all this stuff by yourself. So they give environment and all this stuff. Okay, this is the one. But let me share in the. Do you guys have any doubts you can ask till now? And W3 school is also there. Python. Yeah. So here also you require till functions over there. Yeah, functions. Okay. Don't go. Just click on home. Yeah. So you can go over there. These are the two websites you can learn the basic Python. Okay. Writing a code and all. Yeah. Do you have any questions regarding this?
No, maybe function need to be practiced for better clarity. But
Yeah,
right
yeah.
now, yeah.
So these are the two resources. That is much more than enough if you want to complete that particular part. Now let's move to the next part, which is APIs. Okay. So let me go to the APIs part. Let me that is also okay. We will make it later. Yeah. Okay. I think so. I give much. Okay, that's fine. Good. Mm, yeah. So yeah. Now, what is APIs or what is application programming interface? That is the complete full form of it. But if now, if I need to talk to you, I need to connect with you via phone or something like that. Or if right now we are talking to each other via Zoom. Okay. Now, if one software want to talk with a different software, how they talk? Okay. They required a connection between them. So that connection is provided by APIs. Okay. So that is the analogy in that. So if one software where talk to another software, so we required API for it. Okay. Now, yeah. So let's understand with the restaurant analogy. You go to the restaurant, you do not walk into the kitchen and the cook your own food. Instead, you talk to waiter. You give the waiter your order, a request, which we call request part. Okay. So this we call request. Now let me, yeah. You request waiter for the food, that particular part. Okay. Now the waiter goes to the kitchen and the chef makes the food. The waiter bring it back to you as a response. Okay. API is the waiter. It takes your request to powerful system kitchen and brings back the result. You never need to know how the kitchen works. Okay. Similar thing. So the API, the request is okay. Let me, oh, yeah. You request. Okay. And waiter is only taking the response back. Your food is from the kitchen. Cook, for example, this is the cook who made your food, and the waiter again it taking the your food back, which we call response. Okay. So these are the things. AP, it request and response. Okay. Yeah. Why APIs matter to AI? Now, why we are learning this thing? Because GPT-2 5.2, we was trained on thousands of GPU over months. It cost $100 million. You cannot run on it on your laptop. Okay. But through API, you can use it. Okay. For example, if I want to use Chat GPT, okay. So for what you do, you write your prompt here. Hi, what is weather today? You enter it, what it goes inside that, matlab what is running inside that. Okay, it give me the weather of today. Okay, the current weather. Now, this is the prompt, how this particular flows. Okay, so let's analyze this architecture. You, okay, you write a prompt over there. Okay, prompt. Now, this request with the prompt goes to AI model with the prompt request. Then the AI model generate any response and back in the response. Okay. What is this response? That is the response is shared again with the source and which source it is using. Yeah. But yeah. So this is our request and this is our response getting from the AI model and how they are providing the via API itself. Okay. This is the prompt. It takes the prompt, it sends back the response. That's it. Now here what it takes. Here waiter takes an order, request takes a prompt and give to the AI model. Okay. It is same flow with the other application also. Any application if talk to software by software. So now, right now I am writing a prompt, not software, but this is the front end of that. Okay. There is one major thing. It's you only write the prompt, but before that also there is one layer which we talk about front end. Okay. What you're able to see on your screen, we called it front end. There is a back end of it, where the AI model is present. We call it back end. Okay. So you write a prompt on the front end only. Back end. Okay. This is the mostly API is. If you want to connect with any software or any model or two software, then it requires. Okay. A lot of things we will study about APIs in the part. So how this particular flow. OpenAI, there is a API, send a question, get a GPT-2 to answer it. Google Gemini API is there, send an image, questions, get visualize, understanding stability, text prompt, it will generate 11 Labs API, send text, generate human voice audio, whisper, send audio, gets transcript. So there are a lot of things. Okay. So there is a lot of API for different use cases. Now the if you see on all the things, there is a different headers which we called as what API take with it. For example, here it takes the prompt with it. Okay. In waiter case or the kitchen case, it takes the order list. Now, similar thing, it can take images also, it can take audio also. So anything it can take. But it depends on the what model we are using in the behind. Okay. So API flow is simple. Request, you send data to the URL endpoint. URL endpoint means, yeah, let me show you that. Yeah, replacing your API key. We will do that later. Maybe URL. Every company gives their URL endpoints. Okay, open router. I will show you models. For example, I want to use this particular model. So if you go down, quick start, if you click on the quick start, there is a URL, OpenAI. Yeah. So this is the base URL they are hitting. If we see HTTP version 1 API, they are providing. Yeah. This model way is not available, but yeah, we need to pass it similar to that. Okay, API key is required. This is the URL it is talking about in that particular part. But yeah, you will understand in the later stages that significantly. Yeah, you send the data with the URL and to the URL endpoint. You want to request that particular endpoint. You tell the waiter your order, process, server does the work, the AI model does their work. In the restaurant case, chef cooks your food. Response you will get back the usually JSON. The waiter brings your plate. Okay. Now API key is your identity card. Every API requires a API key. Okay, a secret string that identifies you. It is like your restaurant membership card. Okay, some of the APIs key are free. You don't need a API key for it. Some of the APIs is required API key because they are the private sources. Now, if I'm using OpenAI, if I don't if it is open, then I can use anytime, a lot of times the AI OpenAI models. But it is behind the layer, so it requires the API key to access. Okay, this particular wants to access that thing. For example, if I have a restaurant membership card for year for 24 months, then on any day I can go on 24 months and eat the food freely. Okay, because I pay for them that particular part. Never share your API key, never push it on GitHub. GitHub we will talk later, yeah, but never give your API key publicly because that is very important. It costs you. Now, Google, your coding environment, mostly Google Colab, write a Python code, your browser. So you don't need to install anything if you are working on a Google Colab because they are providing the GPU, free access CPU also. For most of the codes you will see on the Google Colab. Later stages, we download the anti-gravity part. So then you will use a lot of thing on the anti-gravity also. So okay, let me tell you the anti-gravity also. That would be easy if we do right now. So go on this particular link, anti-gravity. This is by Google. So go over there, just click on download. You will download that particular part. After download, you need to open that anti-gravity. Oh, let me show. Okay, let me show. Now the interface you see, you will see similar to this only. Okay. Now, if you click on a open folder, make any folder, just like I will create one folder in Quanta Lab. Okay, projects. So I will create Quanta AI School classes. Okay. So I create one folder over here and I open it. Now it opens here. Okay. Now this is our agent part. Mostly, let me show you this. Yeah. So if you create a file, you can create a file over here. If you want to create new folder, you can create a folder also here directly. Now, the same thing which we do, yeah, if you open here, it will give you the free access of the models. These are the free models you can use. Claude, Opus 4.6 and all the things, GPT, Gemini Flash. Now, how you can start your coding journey. So, um, okay. So I want to learn a Python from static till functions for my beginner's journey. So can you create me a .py file in this particular directory with some examples of basic what is variable, what is data types, and all the things. What is for loop, while loop, and all. Okay. I give one particular prompt and just hit run. Okay, you can choose any model. Mostly use the Gemini model, Gemini 3 Flash. It is cheaper, so it will run long way. So there is a limit for it. So some of the things they are giving free. Now it creates this particular file, task file, create Python basics. So it will create me some this particular file, Python basic. I will create the implementation plan for Python basics guide. Please review it and this. So it will give me variable, data type, basic operator, arithmetic operation, compression, control flow, the conditional logic, loops, and all. So I will give the Excel complete. Proceed. Now it will create me a file. Now it start writing me the code. And if you want to run here, so you can run from here itself. Okay. And of the basics. So it will working fine. So I test it. Okay, so I created the task is completed. I accept all the things and it's done. Okay, now I am able to see what inside this particular file. Okay, the Python basic, the script, what is variables? So in the starting, we already learned this thing. We use f string also. Then there is a data types, int, float, string, boolean. That is also there. Then we have for loops. So it is a for loop. For I in range, print I. Then second, there is a list. We use for loop for this. That is a while loop also there. If count equals to while count is not greater than zero, the print the countdown, decrease count by one. So print blast off. Then there is a function and all. So if you want to run this particular file, how you can, this is the Python. Every Python code in the end there is a .py file. Okay. So let me open the terminal. Now you are inside this. Terminal means you are inside this particular folder. Okay. Now there is a Python. Mostly I'm using Mac, so it is I need to write Python 3, but you can write Python also after installing. And if before that, if you face any error, you need to download that particular part, which I told you in the starting also. Okay, just download Python from here, so your system will get it. Okay, or if you face any issue, just let me know. So for example, I need to run this particular file, .py file. So if you run Python and tab it, it will auto-complete that particular file name and you will learn. Now we will see all the things here also. The variable, if we go here, name and age, Alisa, and this is the age, the same thing what we print. Then there is a data type, there is a type function where we score and all the things we type what are the types of that. Then there is a for loop over there, which is on the range 4. So it will go 0, 1 to 4. Okay. Then there is a fruits list, and we will print all the things. So for fruit in fruits, print I like fruit. So it will go print all the apple, banana, cherry. It will go on every dictionary items. While loop, it count down 3, 2, 1 until it is 0. It will run this count. This is also one type of loop only. Okay. Then there is a functions. A greet user. Hello, welcome to Python. The area is now there is a function which calculate the area also. A length and width, it will calculate that. So we write that length into width should return. If calculate area 5 and 10, it will give you the 50. Okay. This is the basic thing and how I create the file. Just writing a prompt. Okay. To write a prompt, you need to understand the fundamental logic behind it to write a better prompt, so you will get a better output. Okay. Now, this is the anti-gravity part. You need to install that, so we will go with that particular incomplete. This to complete course, we will use anti-gravity a lot to write different things. Okay. So yeah, any doubts till now?
No, I don't have the.
No, no,
Oh,
clear.
okay.
Yeah.
Yes. So on the last part, we are discussing about the APIs part. Okay. So let me show you that. Uh, Now we have, yeah, we are talking about the coding environment. So two coding environment we are using. One is Google Colab and second one is the anti-gravity. Both are free. You don't need to pay anything. Okay. So Google Colab is there. There are different also, just like VS Code is there, Cursor is there, Windsurf is there. But that is in later stages, we also talk about Claude Code for that particular part if you want to pay or use something for the longer run. Okay. Yeah, but right now these are the free. On the anti-gravity part, one more thing I need to explain. where we called it models. Okay. So these are the models provided by the different providers, just like Claude and Opus are provided by Anthropic. These are by Gemini because the complete software is by Google itself. So they provide Gemini and the GPT OSS 120 billion. Okay. There is a fast mode and planning mode. We will talk about that later. That is only this is the basics of it. The interface. Now let me go with this particular part. Yeah. There is a shortcut, shift enter to run the cell and move to the next. We will, while learning, we will learn these things. That's not an issue. Now, Python basic we have already discussed. Variable given names to the data. A variable is a label to attach a piece of data. You think everything you need to think about data. Okay, this data is uh, stored in this variable into the RAM, which is the computer RAM. Okay, strings, list, which we already talk about, dictionary, key value pair, if else, loops, functions. Now, same thing we do for the API. Let's write a code for it. Okay. So Google gave the free API, so we will use Google's API for testing all these things. Now, in the second part, first you need to install Google Generative AI. What that means? Pip install dash q generative AI. It means you need to install pip we are using to install anything in Python. Okay. So we need to install these libraries. Okay. Right now, this particular system does not have this library. Okay, let me search about this library first. Okay, if we search about this, so Python, I already told in the starting, there is a big community of Python. So if everything in the Python, you can see there is a library for it. Okay. We can't store every code in single file. We need to separate that to make a system very manageable. Okay. So Google provide this particular library to access their models. Okay. So if you go on the Google AI Studio also, okay. Now it is also one thing you need to use a lot. Okay. And there is an anti-gravity link also I will share. Okay. These are the links. I need to close this one, close. So let's not use. Hmm. Yeah. So you use a lot this thing also. Now, if you go on the API part, go on the Google anti-gravity, get one API key for yourself. So create an API key, just click testing, give any name, QS testing. Select any project if you don't have, just don't do this thing and create an API. So this way you will get an API key. Okay, QS testing. Okay, this is created 22 March, QS testing. Let me copy this one. And now this is required to access that particular model. Okay, if I want to use any model, so let me first I need to install this particular library, which is in the Python. I want to add that library into my system to access their functions. Okay, so it will take some time to load. Install that Google AI library. Okay, it's done. Now, second thing, I need to provide the API key and I will need to run. Okay. So it go me all support is ended if no longer receive the updated bugs. So Gen AI package as soon as possible. README file. Okay. So let me give this to Gemini is connected. All support to this. Mm. Okay, now they created a new endpoint for this particular part. So let me copy this one. install this Google Dash. What is the function of it? Google to Gem version. Let me give the copy the code. Python code. Okay, let me copy this code and paste it. Okay, and I need to paste the API key over here. Okay, so this is fine. We are using lit model text and input here. Okay, let me paste some input. I How are you? It is same thing what you type in the chat GPT. Okay. Now you type in this particular code block to get the answer. Okay. So let me run this one. Okay. Generate no API. Please valid API key. No API key provided. Okay. But why we required OS here? API key you can provide directly. I don't require this. That is on. Okay. Give me 1 second. Okay, yeah, it's working fine now. Yeah, so it is not required then. Got it. So now we give this particular part over here connected to J1. I need to remove this. Yeah, I'm doing well. Thank you for asking. I'm here ready to help with your question or task you might have. How are you doing today? So this is the prompt which we write. Now, same thing we're doing with the API call. Now we call this particular model let Gemini Flash let latest using this API. If I don't have the API, I am not able to access this particular model or call this particular model. Okay, this is the complete code base which I take from here. So they provide this. If you change the model also here, if you want to use Gemini 3 preview and click on the code, you only need to change the model. That's it. You can use anything now. And different code has different things. Yeah, but yeah, let's use anti-gravity. No, not now. Okay. So this is the API call we did. Now, if I want to ask, okay, what is the France capital? Paris. So it will tell me, okay, the France capital is Paris. Okay. Now, same thing we can do with the response, but which function I'm taking or generate. Okay, that's what. That's not, it's not running. We require a model to generate. Explain me this topic. Okay, give me 1 second. Let me make a simple function of it. Maybe we can use ChatGPT for it. Make a function where the prompt is the parameter inside that. Prompt as a string, so we take this one. Yeah, you can respond generate prompt. That is also fine. Let me copy this one. Generate prompt. Why? Response generate. That is fine. Okay, API key I need to paste. Again, it tell me, okay, the capital is Paris. Now, same thing, if I want to use this particular response equals to group. Okay, same thing we can do with this generate response. The model is there. We can, okay, let's not use this one. Yeah, so this is way we can call the model. You can change the model if it is mostly for the Gemini. Okay, Gemini model, Google models. So if you want to use any other model also, you can just call it. Okay. So there are different models. In next, mostly in later classes, we will understand what is the system instruction, no API key, the code execution. If you on that thing, enable that thing, function calling, grounding, temperature, and all this stuff. These are the parameters of any LLM model. So that is very common thing. So we will understand in the next classes. But yeah, for today, we mostly know to the API calls. Okay, how the API is calling this particular model and get the output. Same thing we do for the interfaces. If you do same similar thing with the chat GPT also, it will give me the what is the capital for France. Okay, it is also show me the France, but it give me the more detailed output with the images and all. Okay. Yeah, we will see this particular part also how you can change the output and all. But yeah, this is the basic thing. We call the API via UI itself. We call the API via code itself also. Okay. Uh, so this is the first code. Install the Google Generative AI library. Then we configure this API key and we call the model. So that is send your first message. So these are the message dynamic. This is using f string. Now we need to call. Okay, but I need to change this particular. Okay, I will update this PDF and send to you in later because this library is depreciated. It should be the new library, Google Gen AI. Okay, apart from that, what we require? Okay, so let's make this particular. Let's go to the anti-gravity and build this particular thing. Okay. Um, or we can do one more thing. Okay, so I understand this thing. Now I want to create a new file, Python apis.py. So I will understand the API formats. I want to use this particular model. Let me, um, and also use .env for the API keys and create a function for it so I can use again and again. I want to learn this from starting to end. And this is the flow. Let's So this is the task it is doing. I read the task. It's good for me. Then it will do all the analysis again. Let me show proceed. These are the requirement it will installed. Okay, that's not an issue. Now it create me a file where I can use this particular API. Compiled, it is there. Done. Okay, that is fine. I set up the API. Now I need to pass the API key over here. There is two ways I can provide API key. I can provide directly, but that is not a standard system. So we create a env file. So in that we will pass the API key. So let me run this particular thing. Okay, I will pass here. And we will save that. And if we run this particular part, Python 3, Python APIs, I want to run this. So it is thinking what are the latest updates in Python 3.1 because the query should be like this. It shows me the complete output. Okay. So yeah, if we change anything here, what is AI? Okay, and if I run it again, okay, where it goes. Okay, I didn't save it. Yeah, that's why it's taking the similar prompt. Okay, now we run this one. Now it takes what is AI. It's thinking now to respond, and it will give me the answer. We will also talk about in later stages why it is thinking. Some model giving fast answer in comparison to this. So it tell me what is AI, the field of computer science dedicated to creating systems that can perform tasks typically required human intelligence. Okay, that is the artificial. So it will give me this. So what we are doing a simple API call with the prompt. Okay, now, now let's do one mini project for this thing. The complete thing I will update or shared with you. Maybe in the function format. Okay. Okay. So let's understand this particular project. AI topic explainer. Now it has two things. Okay. It has topic and style. Right now we give the simple style, but yeah, we can take it. So the topics are this and all these things. Yeah, interactive visions and all bonus. That is okay. That is the different thing. Yeah, so explain topics. So this is the mini project we need to build. Okay. So let me get this particular part into the here. It created that, but let's go do that thing into the collab itself. So that would be much easier for you. So it is not uh, visually intuitive. Here also it is there, but yeah, let's go to the Excel. File upload. So this is the Python. Okay, let me connect this one. First, we install all the Python packages which is required. Right. Okay, right. And repeat. That is fine. Okay, so there is a file panel over there. Okay, I don't think so. It is yes. Paste it over here. Okay, yes, it will run that. Okay, now it is saved. We have two functions. One chat with Gemini to load the model. Okay. One is for explain topics. So it is the direct function which we created. Okay. If we required, we can require this. We can paste the env here itself. Okay. Now, if I want to see some outputs, yeah. API is not set. Please set the Gemini API key in the .env. Okay, like, but I don't want to set this. If not, API key equals to this. It is working like this. Please set the API key. Okay. Remove the oh, that would be easier. So that just remove this one. Object. So API key here. Okay, that it will work. No. Issue. Maybe. Not required. Okay, now it's working. So these are some example chat with Gemini. These are the two functions. Chat with Gemini, which takes the user prompt and it will give the answer. Okay. Where we load the this particular AI model. Okay. Explain topic. It is the prompt. You are the friendly AI teacher where we change the system prompt. Okay. So now if you see in the starting, we will write a AI. What is AI in 2026? So it will give me complete answer. Now, after that, we use explain topic function where we give the system prompt. You are a friendly AI teacher at QuantaSkool, where we give the topic and the style. Style is simple. Topic is given here, which is neural network or API funny. Okay. So now in the second one, if you see, it will teach you. Hi, I'm your teacher here, Quanta Labs. Think of the neural network like a large community of experts trying to identify the mystery fruit. Okay. The first group of experts only look at color. They pass, find, next group. So this is the one way of teaching the example. The difference you will see in the starting, we only ask what is AI in 2026. Now we change the little bit of system prompt here. We give our own prompt. You are a friendly AI teacher at QuantaSkool. Now it become our assistant. Okay, with our just keep the it under 150 words. Now it gives me the 150 words answer itself. And the second one where we change the tone also, the funny about APIs. Now, welcome to Quanta Lab. Think of APIs as a waiter at a fancy pizza joint. You, the app, are sitting at the table, starving. The kitchen, the server, has all the cheese dough, but the chef is temperament genius who only speak weird dialects. You can't just okay. So these are the same kitchen example where you call instead you tell the waiter the API what you want. The waiter take your order, translate it to chef, and bring the hot pizza back to your table. So this is the topic change. How the output is changed with just a system prompt. We change the system prompt according to us. Now both things are now completely changed. So you will change the output of AI models, how they are providing the output. For example, same thing if you do with ChatGPT also, or maybe any. And for example, topic is API and style is funny. Funny. You don't need to write in this particular format, but that is fine. Your topic is API. Yeah. Now, mostly a model is trained on this internet data. So a lot of where you learn the APIs from the website. So there are a lot of example with the waiter in the restaurant. That is the one thing. So every model will take this particular thing. Okay. So this way it will teach you how the basic system, but this is the user prompt. Okay. Now we only change the system prompt. Now there is a two thing. One is the user prompt. Here it goes like a user prompt. But here in the code base, we change the system prompt part. The user only provide me the what? The user provide me this API and the funny. Okay. Then it will looks like that. So that is these are the things in the API part. Let me go to this. I will save this also so you guys can use. That is the thing. Uh, so these are some mini projects over there. Okay, now there is a JSON. What JSON is? It is a writing format. How you can write a format for the LLM. Okay. JavaScript object notation, that is the complete full form. But if you see, it is similar to the dictionary which we read in the Python. So it is valid for that. So yeah. So if you see in the format right now, we send the input like this, but in the behind the scene, it will go in different ways. So how it goes? So let me show you. So right now we write a prompt over here. The flow should be something like that. Yeah. Okay. So it goes prompt and dictionary. Okay. It takes, okay, this is the prompt. What is your name? Hi, how are you? Hi, how are you? Okay. This is the format it takes from front end to back end. Then it will give the output. Okay. Now, for example, the output is also came. So it comma, then AI response, AI dash response. Okay. It will take maybe something like I am good. That is also in inverted commas. Okay, now it takes the response and back to the front end. It will show you I am good. So this is the format it will follows. So that is also important thing. JSON is the format how the we pass the information to the AI model or via APIs. Okay, you see a lot of things working with JSON in Python. Name is Mohit, role is instructor. So something like that. API key safety, never hard coded API key. So that is the one thing. Okay, that's the so that is the complete thing. Next week we will learn about prompt engineering. So that is the one part. Yeah, before moving to the next part of the class, which is image generation, video generation, do you have the doubts till now? Till now,
No,
hello.
I don't have doubt.
Did you
Uh,
guys understand the basic logic of it? Yeah, yeah,
yeah,
Faiz, tell.
basically, I think as I understood, API is the key of the entering the prompt to execute the model in different apps or something like right.
Yeah, yeah. So mostly it is like communication between you and your software or two different software because
Okay,
what here we only write a prompt on the front end.
correct.
Front end send that particular prompt to the back end and taking a response back to the front end and show you.
Yeah.
That internal process is communicating via APIs.
Okay.
Okay, yeah. So anything if you want from AI models. So AI model is very compute heavy. So there are some open source model which is available. You can download and run on your laptop. But a lot of model, just like OpenAI model is too big or Claude model are too big. You can't access directly in your laptop. So they provided via APIs. That's why
Correct.
we are learning the APIs part. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Any other
Clear.
question?
No, no.
Okay. Once you go through these, just like Web3 School or course Big Binary Academy, so you will understand much more things in Python itself or API also. I will share some resources on APIs also, so you will understand it much better. But the basics of it, once you go in the later classes also, you will understand, okay, this is the API we are using. We use a lot of APIs in the complete course. That is a major part when you talk to LLMs, or if you want to connect your uh, what we call any tool. For example, you want your email to be managed by LLM. So you need to connect your large language model or your AI model to your Google Drive or Gmail. Then you require the API for that. So in complete course, we will talk about APIs a lot, tools a lot, and all the things. So in later classes we will do. Yeah, that this is just a basic of it. Yeah, if we need a, if I need to communicate with different software, two different software talking to each other via API itself. So a lot of companies also provide their APIs. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's take 5 minutes break before starting the next class. Then we will start. Okay.
Sure.
Uh, yeah, so we will start the next class, the next part of the class. So are you there?
Yes.
Okay. So yeah, we close this one. Okay. So So we will mostly in the second part we mostly talk about yeah. Wait, give me 1 second. What row is this one? Now in the first mostly the Saturday class for the LLMs, and now we are mostly ahead to the next class where we see the visual parts of it. Visuals means the text generation, image generation, and video generation part. Okay, visual parts. Okay, image generation and video generation part. But before deep dive into that particular things, we need to understand what are the history of it, how we go from there to right now and on the present state. Okay, so the problem before 2016 or 2015, why couldn't machine create images? For decades, we have a lot of things. There is a people which do a lot of research on this particular thing. Okay, but AI could play chess, translate languages on 2015 itself or 2016. Right now in 2022, it has started to generate the images, but not before. If you see the previous history, there is a in 1997 there is a IBM model which beats the human in the chess. Okay, so there are these the text part is going on previously also, but there is not a sign where it generates the images. Okay, now but creating a new image nearly impossible. What are the three barriers in the 2009 or something like that? There is a lot of data. There is no data before that. Camera or all these things are coming later stages. Okay. Then compute issues there. There is no GPU before. A university had one CPU which is way slow. Okay. We didn't know how to make a new networks, create images, recognize cats was solved. Drawing a cat fundamentally harder. Okay, so recognize cats is that is easy. In the first video, we talk about that. Okay, model can recognize cats or dogs or any person. Okay, we can build that particular algorithm, or we build that previously, but it is not solved to generate the new image. It is harder. Okay, so think of it's like cooking. Image you want to teach someone to cook biryani who has never tested food. No data, no compute, no algorithm. By 2020, we had all 3 millions recipes. We have datas, we have industrial kitchen, GPUs, we have a cookbook diffusion model. All three barriers fall between 2012 to 2020. All these things solved in between these era. What follows was the fastest creative revolution in history. Okay, these all are from the research papers. Okay, so in 2014, AI will generate blurry images. Okay, 64 by 64. Okay, then 2018, realistic faces is generate. Any images from text. It is without text right now. Okay, in 2022, it is any image from text. Now we have 60 seconds video from text. We have audio plus 4K cinema right now in 12 years. Okay, now we are into that exponential graph growth. Okay, but what papers will help this particular journey? So in 2013, there is a variational auto encoder. Okay, what that means is right now, yeah, that means VAE, variational auto encoders. What that means, for example, there is a issue. If you see any image, let's take its size of 1024 multiply by 1024. Okay, so this is the pixel size of this image. Okay, that much of pixels it this image have, or maybe we can RGB. that three colors it has. So it has this much of pixels. Okay. This image is created with these three colors and these many of pixels. If we draw this particular part also on the lines, if we go, let's take one example. Yeah, it's just like small cubes, if you understand this particular. Okay, it is like a small cubes means pixels. Okay, now to process this particular image, it is very hard. Okay, because every AI algorithms or anything, it is working on mathematics. Okay, or to process all these things in mathematics into the GPU, it is way harder. Okay, so the researchers build an algorithm where this particular image we send via variational autoencoders. uh, yeah, VAE. VAE. We compress this particular image into smaller dimensions, maybe 64 by 64. 64. Okay. And we have this thing to back take back this particular image. We compress this. Okay. Via encoders. We call it encoder. Encoder. Okay. And we have decoder. Now it is a decoder. The combine we called it VAE, but yeah, encoder and decoders are there, where we compressed image to the normal image. Again, we have 1024 into 1024. Okay, so this tech we have developed in 2013. So we have the first net that could compress and generate images, blurry but revolutionary. It generates the blurry image, but that is fine. Yeah. Yeah, it will compress and decode also. So in smaller areas or in smaller dimension, if we work, computation is much cheaper. We can work all the tasks in this space and get back the image. Okay, this is the basic work of VA. Now let's go to the next point. Now there in 2014 there is GANs, generative adversarial networks. There are the two network compartment or sharper image to first time. Okay. Okay, let me tell you this also and this GANs. Yes. Now you have one machine over here and you have another machine over here. Okay. Right now you are not giving any text. This machine generate an image. For example, let's take cat image. Okay. First time it generate the cat image. Okay. This will tell this image is not good. Okay. So this particular guy will build again that cat image. Then it will tell okay, it is not good. So we repeat same process again and again until this will confirm. Okay, now this image is good. Okay. So maybe it is 1,000 step, 10,000 step, 1 lakh step. This process is going on. So we call it GANs. Okay, we will read that particular part in coming sooner. Then there is a diffusion model part. What is diffusion model part now? Adding noise and learn to reverse theoretically. It is 5 years. Theoretically, we learn this. Theoretically, that means let me view diffusion model part also. We have separate lecture on this, but yeah, let me give you the basics. This. For example, there is any image, you done image, maybe the cat image. You add noise on it. Noise means you see there is a noise on your television screen previously when there is no channels and all. So something like that. So it adding noise on that good image. Okay. And to reverse that, okay, if there is a noise, then how we generate the cat image. So it's similar to that. You add a noise on every step. Okay. Uh, I will show you one example. Diffusion process example. Model image. Yeah, this would be much better. Okay, that would be long too. Okay. So this is the forward diffusion. You are adding a noise on every step, making the image maybe it on the last step it will be noisy completely. You add the noise, add a noise, add a noise. This we call as forward diffusion. We remove a noise, remove a noise, remove that we call as reverse diffusion. Okay, this is the one thing. So this is the diffusion model. This is the basics of it. Yeah. Now in 2017 there is a transformer architecture. Attention is all you need. This is the most important architecture for GPT or any model you see right now. It is based on this paper itself. Okay. The architecture that would later power DALI stable diffusion, that is fine. Yeah. Transformer architecture means maybe LLM part you will learn. Yeah, like let me give you the basics again. Transformer. Yeah. What that means, for example, you write a sentence. The cat sat on mat and suddenly it jumps from window. Okay. Now you and I know this thing ki it is refers to the cat. Okay. The cat sat on the mat and suddenly it jumps from the window. Now it here is refers to the cat part, not any other. But how machine knows? Okay. That solves this attention paper. Okay. It takes completely this particular sentence, breaks into the number and all, and it give attention to this it and this probability of similar to cat. Basically, it creates one dabba box and mark is every word a number. Okay, it's like matrix. Set. Okay. Similarly, same thing written over here also. The cat sat on mat and okay, similar to that longer. Suddenly it jumped. All the things are written here itself also. Okay. And now we have this line also here. Now, similarly here it is on it also. So attention mechanism solves that thing and the number it and cat. It is maybe manlo for example highest is 1. Okay. So it should be around the cat and it and cat relationship number will be Let me take it here. It should be 0.9. Maybe it will be 0.9. So now we understand, the LLM will understand or machine will understand, I need to prefer this particular uh, word is more attention to cat. So now a machine will understand, okay, it refers to the cat. So that is the internal process of it. Okay, we will understand that complete logic in depth in the next or next to next classes. Yeah, but the logic is this: attention is all you need. Similarly, it will create big metrics. That's why it requires computationally heavy power, or we require bigger machine to run the AI models. Yeah. So now we have DDPM again in 2020. There is a denoising diffusion, made diffusion practical, better than GAN, the paper that starts everything. Okay. Now denoising practical means DDPM, denoising. For example, in the image, we teach about forward diffusion and reverse diffusion. This is the theoretical idea till now. Okay. Now this particular paper, DDPM paper, exactly know how we remove this particular noise, how we remove this particular noise from the email. Okay. This forward diffusion, we adding the noise. Now we are removing the noise and generate the image. But till now, we are not clear what we are generating because text part is not coming till now. Okay. It is only removing the noise, denoising. Just remove the noise. That is the paper. It is inside that it is talking about. Okay. This particular DDPM. But what it is generating, it is not clear. In 2021, there is an OpenAI release clip. Okay. In that, and DALI E, the first, the image generation model from OpenAI, connecting text and images, type a sentence and get the images. Okay. And then in 2022, they released a stable diffusion by stability.ai. This is the research paper. After 6 months, they released this. Stability.ai released this particular paper. So yeah, in 2021 they released the published latent diffusion paper, and 2022 Stability AI turns it into a stable diffusion and release it for free. 8 months from the paper to product used by million. This speed is why AI moves so fast. Okay, it is only 8 months. It will converted that particular paper into the uh, complete product. Okay. Now the era GANs. So what GANs is? I already told the random noise. The generator create fake image. This is the real image. Now both image goes to the disc discriminator. Detect it is fake. It compares both images, which is generated by this also. If it is not good, then it will go to the feedback loop and generate the better images. Okay, imagine two people locked in room, counterfeiter and the detective, and tries to paint fake Mona Lisa painting and tries to spot which painting are fake because it has the original image. It goes round one, it draw stick figures detect easily. On 1 lakh, maybe the fakes are so good, even detective can't tell. So this is the complete process, how it process. In 2024 to 2014, it only blurry 64 by 64 images. It works. Then on 2017, there is ProGAN by NVIDIA, progressive growing, which we called it in 1024 into 1024 faces. Then style GANs, photorealistic faces. Then style GAN 2, near perfect faces, peak of GAN eras. Why GAN had a problem? Why this architecture has a problem? Mode collapse, like a student who only writes one essay for every exam. Okay, it's like it is only generating a single image again and again. So that is the major thing. If I want to give a text, there is uh, no thing. If I want to give a new text to it, okay. Training stability. Two neural network crash each other. If one is working, another is facing issue, and it will crash anytime. No text control. You don't have any text control over there. In diffusion era, there is a learning to denoising. Proposed in 2015, ignored for years. Then 2020 DDPM paper made it work. Clean image, a little noise. Okay, how diffusion works simply. Little noise, more noise, very noise, pure noise. From pure noise to less noise, clearer, almost clear, new image. Okay, this is forward, this is reversed. This is the analogy. Why diffusion beat GANs? Stable training, no adversarial game, no crashes. Text control, a cat on a beach at sunset actually works. Better diversity, generate anything. No, not just faces, it will generate anything. Now, how text become an image? API flow. Now, a cat on a beach. Text encoder, which we talk about. This is a text encoder, which take this text and convert into the numbers and pass to the diffusion model, which denoise. Denoise means there is an empty noise. We start with the noisy images, which all it already have. Okay, then we go to the VAE, we process all things, we generate the final image. We decode. All these things happens into the latent space. We will talk about the latent space later part. Mostly latent space is very a small space. Yeah, yeah. In this particular part, we talk about this. Yeah. The encoder, we go to the smaller space. Latent, we call it latent space. And this space is pixel space. Okay, these are the things. Now we have this here. Your text get goes through the clip, a text encoder. Clip convert your words into number that model understand. The diffusion model starts with the random noise and denoise it. It guided by through numbers. After 50 steps of denoising, a clear image emerge. Okay, now let me show you some demos also. Now I have some follow. Yeah, and this is the one. So, for example, it has this particular prompt. Now, this particular prompt goes inside this clip, text representation generator. This first goes to the tokenizer, means every word is break down into the token. So, token one token equals to 3 by 4 words. You can that is the rough idea. Okay, cute and bunny, adorable. Then it goes to a text encoder, which we use clip, which convert into the numbers similar to like that, which I already told you. Okay, then it goes to the guidance scale, means how much importance you want to give those numbers. This saved is 7. Then it goes to the image representation, means unit. Unit means there is a diffusion model. Predict noise to remove from the random noisy image. This is the random noisy image. It goes, all these things goes into the unit, and then you will see there is steps. If you increase the steps, it will start generating the image, and in last you will generate the image. This is the basic flow of diffusion model, or a lot of things you will learn into the complete video for diffusion model part. Yeah, but yeah, this is the basics of it. Mostly this is the part. Then exposure to image generation. Then DALI come on OpenAI 2022. First high quality text image for everyone. Midjourney is coming. Stable diffusion, stability.ai. Previously, you see a lot of things going on Midjourney, but right now you have a lot of things. Just like Higgs field, there is a you know, uh, free pick is there. These are taking a lot of market share now. Stability.ai is also coming that particular time. DALI 3 OpenAI 2023, then Midjourney V6 2024. Flux is open source completely. X Stability team, then Image 3 by Google, and right now there are a lot. Z Turbo, there is a Flux Kelvin and all. Similarly for right, okay. What change in people daily lives? Before 20 need a product photo, hire this. Need a illustration, hire an artist. Wait days. After type this and you will get the image. These are the things. This is why image generation is a $1 billion industry disruption. Okay, a lot of thing is disturbed after this. Previously, people go to the Canva and create the images. Now you need to write a prompt to generate the images. That's it. Now from still images to video, that is the major part. Okay. Previously, we only generate the images. Now we are able to generate videos also. That is 100x harder than the images part. 30 images per second. That must be the consistent new challenge. Okay, this is the new challenge. So why videos is 100%? Imagine a flipping book animation. So 30 images, 30 FPS. So 30 frames per second. It generates the 30 images, then it will show you in the flow. Now we at least we need to generate 5-second video. So we required a 150 frames, means 150 images. Okay. Then we need to show them in that particular flow. Okay. So the models it coming in 2023, there is a runway Gen 2. Right now, we are at VO 3.1, Kling 3, and all the things. LTX 2.3 also, it is also there. 4K videos we are getting. Multi-shot subject consistency. Now, a lot of things are going on. The, LTX 2, LTX is open source mostly. Where we are right now, these are the things. We have Kling 3, smooth motion. Audio is also open source. It is not open source. Sora 2, physics, realism, complex scenes, 180p. Yes, it is audio support. No, it is not open source. Then VO3 also. Then CDANs also. It is not open source. LTX 2.3 is open source, which gave you the 4K and 50 FPS. This is the stable diffusion movement for the videos because LTX 2.3 or the previous version also it has a lot of capabilities. If you want to run the model on the consumer GPUs, just like 4090 and much near to that, it will now, architecture is diffusion transformer. The modern model uses DIT, diffusion process plus transformer architecture, the same transformer that powers the GPU, which we already talk about that. Now, the both the things are merged. Okay, we will see in depth in later stages about this architecture. What this means is you as an AI builder, you can generate product videos, you can call VO3 APIs to generate that YouTube channel and a lot of things. Now you can try out with this if you want to use Google for image generation. Nano Banana 2 is also there. Image Gen 3 is also there. Open source, there is a Hugging Face. Yeah. So a lot of models we find on two places. Here we find text generation, image generation, all type of model on Hugging Face. Second, we go to the Civet AI, where we find different type of models in image generation. Okay. So these are the two places you will find a lot of models, AI models. Okay. We will learn how to use them and all. But yeah, this is the one. These two websites are the most important website to download the model in ComfyUI also because we use ComfyUI framework to learn all these things, how we can load the model, use that particular model, because we are going on the from the first principle to understand all the things break down okay why this particular model come and now we use a framework. You can use any framework in later stages. For example, if ComfyUI is not working, any other framework is come, you can use that also. That's not an issue, but the fundamentals are same in every case. Yeah, so Google AI Studio you can try out with videos. Kling AI, LTX desktop, there is a lot. Okay. Yeah, we provide that part also where you can run the ComfyUI. So the bigger picture is this: in 2014 there is GANs, there is 2022 Stable Diffusion, 2024 there is Sora, 2026 we have the Kling. This is only in the 12 years research paper to desktop. This is the speed of AI. Right now it is changing a lot of things. So yeah, we learned in this particular part. Next week we mostly go through with the prompt engineering and mostly prompt engineering, and we will see about tensor dot art. So make an account on it to test some of the image generation and all. Okay. So it gives a lot of capabilities. So if you create an account, it will give some free credits to you. Okay. So in the next week, we mostly go through on the trying out different prompts for basic image generation before deep dive into the Comfy UI. Because Comfy UI is a node-based platform and it has a visual UI based. So it will be easy for you to understand what process inside Comfy UI it is going on. So what we are doing on the tensor.art. So you can create an account on this. So they give you free credits for some of the free credits, and you can use also the what you call it free pick also you can make an account on it. So they are also provide some of the free credits. Okay. So yeah, and the next week we will mostly go through this and text generation part. We understand what we go. Mostly we could go deep dive into the transformer architecture or the LLM basics. What is LLM? How many types of LLMs are there? Open source, closed source. And then we will deep dive into the transformer architecture where we understand how complete process is going on from the text to generating a response. Okay. So that is it in this. Yeah. Do you have any doubts for now?
No.
Did you guys understand all the thing?
Yeah.
Yes.
We
Yeah.
will get these PDFs, right?
Yeah, you will get all these PDF. Now you guys also access the dashboard part.
Yeah, I got the fixes.
Okay. Now you have also got the PDF over there and all.
Okay.
The PDFs and all over there. I will share this particular Google Drive link also. So you will get all the things.
Sure.
Okay.
Okay. I will update the class by tomorrow morning, Monday. So it takes some time to process. Do you
Okay.
have any doubts? You need to ask anything.
Next class will be Saturday, right?
Yeah, on Saturdays. Okay. Yeah. So do you feel interesting about this?
Yes, yes, definitely.
Yeah. Okay.
Most of
So
the things like right now we are RAMs and GPUs, our price are very high.
yeah.
So I already purchased the high-end PC. So mostly we
Okay.
can create in a locally, right? If we want it.
No, so yeah, we guide you okay, how you can use that particular part on locally. But
Yeah,
yeah, for this particular course, because there are different students, so everybody not able to
yeah,
purchase the ComfyUI or GPU. So
yeah,
we provide the 1 month or 1 month access of Floyo or the
okay.
ComfyUI cloud. So you guys can use or practice over there. Okay, so that is the part.
Because I checked Kevin and Sora, but they are the takings are too much high price, and
Yeah.
sometimes we're not getting the exact output. Multiple times we need to render it out, prompting and render it out.
Prompting is the major part. So I will tell you how you can write a better prompt. So you will get a much better outputs. In Comfy UI, we have the power to tweak the images or videos, or
Yeah,
you test the different AI models. If you have the machine, then you don't need to pay anything to anybody. So you have a lot of time in testing and all.
yeah. Basically, all in our office also have they are using ComfyUI, but Montreal team is doing that one.
Okay.
Yeah. So as an individual in India, nobody is using in my office.
Okay.
So maybe
Maybe later stages after this particular year, I think so. There are a lot of update adoption of AI and AI technologies is coming on in India itself.
Yeah, mostly we did work on like Michael Jackson recently we released
Oh,
on April. We did the
okay.
work on with the help of Comfy API and something.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so that was, but
Yeah.
major issue
It,
is Indian people are my Indian teams are not worked on AI models. Like only do on the compositing comp work on
okay.
that one.
There are a lot of use cases. But if the domain is expert will come to in this area and they know, okay, this is the capabilities of that, then the use cases are broader for that particular person.
Correct.
Yeah. Yeah. So we will connect. Maybe if you have doubts, you can ask me on WhatsApp, or then we will connect on the next week.
Sure.
Okay.